smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. This child awaits, strong in the faith. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let a day go, can't let a day go by without thanking you for the joy that you bring to my life. And ooh, there's something about the way your sun shines on my face. It's a love so true, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship on. Take me away. It's a beautiful day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Face to Face with Gerald and Regina, where we give you a different perspective on real life issues with transparency. We keep it raw, we keep it real. And welcome.
Hello.
Good afternoon in Dallas. It is a beautiful day. And even if it was raining, it's still a beautiful day. So welcome again. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. So we have a great discussion today, and it's a part 2. It is a part 2. Why do we self-sabotage? Part 2. And we're going to do like a rundown of it from the last time. I think it was like maybe a month ago. And I think this right here is an excellent discussion. Simply because there's a lot of times where we self-sabotage, and don't realize it. Sometimes we do, and then sometimes we don't realize it. So I am excited. We have Gerald with us via Zoom.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. He's saying he can't see us.
It's all good. Let's just keep going.
Okay. All right. So before we get into the discussion, do you need exposure? If you want exposure, let us help you. If you would like to be a guest on our podcast show, inbox us on our face-to-face page so we can get you a date to be on the show in the studio or through Zoom. You can inbox us on our face-to-face page on Facebook, or you can email us at glperson76@gmail.com, or you can also email us on, we have our own email, facepodcast21@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. You have an advertisement, if you have a discussion, just let us know, just inbox us. And I think we're going to get right into it. Gerald, did you want to do the businesses now, or you want to do it a little bit later?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and knock them out right now.
Okay, so right now, go right ahead. Show them Burgerlicious.
Yes. So let me see. Hold on, because I can't see anything right now, but it's okay.
I'll just let you know what they're showing. So it's Burgerlicious is up there, and that looks good.
Okay. Yeah. So Burgerlicious, we're out here in Louisville, Texas, y'all. Listen, if you want a good burger, y'all come see us. Some say it's too far to drive, but I tell you what, when it comes to food, I don't mind driving. If it's good, I don't mind driving.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can call in your order, or you can order online and pick up as well. All right.
Okay, and then we have V's Catering.
Yes. And that is our catering company as well. And if you're looking for a catering company, a Black-owned catering company, somebody that's professional, that can do large weddings, large parties, small parties. It just basically depends on what size. We got you on that too. It don't always have to be burgers. So y'all let us know what we can help you with.
Okay, and then we have Kayla's Touch of Class.
Yes. And that is my daughter. She's a young entrepreneur. She's actually a beautician, and basically she knows how to make wigs. She knows how to do sew ins. She knows how to clip ends. All that stuff that that women like. You know, uh, yeah, I don't want to go too far. Then I wind up saying something I was supposed to say. But all of her information is on that flyer. You can call her, you can text her, you can even email her, or else you can go to her Instagram page and reach out to her like that, and she'll respond to you.
All righty. Thank you so much. Yeah, we did something different. We are going over our advertisements, our promotions, and thank you so
Hmm.
much for that. Please, 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 when we put it up there, we would love for you to support, of course, black-owned
Of
businesses,
course.
but any business really. But these are black-owned businesses,
Yeah.
so please come out
Hmm.
and support, support, support. Um, so we are going to get into it. Um, why do we self sabotage?
Hmm. Yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over what is self sabotage.
Exactly.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a tough
so
one.
self, and you can chime in.
Of course.
Chime in. Self sabotaging behavior refers to intentional. And this is what I
Hmm.
like: intentional action or inaction that undermines people's progress and prevents them from accomplishing their goals. Self
That's right.
sabotage occurs when people hinder their own success. While it seems surprising, some people undermine their own good intentions and long term goals. It can affect someone long term. When people take these destructive steps, their harmful behavior, because it is a harmful behavior, can negatively impact every part of their lives, including their relationships, when you drag other people in it, and your and career. So, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, and it's a lot of times, it's a lot of times, we self sabotage, and sometimes we don't even know we're self sabotaging. And
Yeah,
it's a
say
lot of
it.
times people are getting into your life or coming to your life, so to speak, to be a blessing. And I think that's something me and Regina we was talking about a few minutes ago. Sometimes people they come in your life to be a blessing, not to hinder anything you have going on. And a lot of times, to be quite honest with you, that don't even take a whole lot of discernment.
Mm,
When somebody in your life to come to do good in your life, sometimes it's just a knowing that you'll just get. You'll just know
mm-hmm.
when the you'll just a know you'll just have a knowing in your heart, in your spirit, whatever you want to call it, that's the right person that's supposed to be in my life. This is the right relationship. Because I said, because at the end of the day, truth be told, all of us we're too old to just be just hanging around somebody just to be hanging around them.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thank you.
just be hanging around you, just be hanging around you, just because I want to be buddies with you. All right, that's cool. If you don't have a like if you don't plan on trying to have a destiny, you know what I'm saying. And sometimes you just have to be careful and be very watchful how you treat people. You have to be very careful and very watchful how you treat people, because the Bible tells us sometimes we entertain angels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you just got to be careful, because sometimes somebody might be ready to write you a big check. You
Mm.
know, somebody you may not have a vehicle, and somebody might be ready to bless you with a vehicle, or
Mm-hmm.
somebody might be able to be ready to bless you with a house, and all along you treating them how somebody else treated you, because you haven't gotten healed from your last situation, or
Mm-hmm.
from your last relationship, or from your last friends and stuff like that. Go ahead, Miss Regina.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we also discussed the last time that self sabotage, for those of us that are saved, believers, is a spirit.
Hmm.
Self
Yeah.
sabotage is a spirit. And
Yeah.
then I have a few scriptures. I'm just gonna share a few. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter
Yeah.
for sweet and sweet for bitter. And this is Isaiah, I'm sorry, 5th chapter,
Mhm.
20 and the 21st verse. And who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and shrewd in their own sight. Um, And then the second scripture that I have is Proverbs 26, chapter 24 through the 26th verse. Whoever hates disguises himself with his lips and harbors deceit in his heart. When he speaks graciously, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatreds be covered with deception, his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. So do you have it?
Wow, that's a lot. See, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna try to anyway.
Say it.
It's a lot of times. A lot of people think that God put them on his God's green earth for them to expose people. All right, that's not your ministry to expose people. All right, God. I say God. That stuff comes from God. All right, if it's for them to be exposed. Whatever it is that they doing, if they live in a homosexual lifestyle and they preaching in the pulpit, or if they slapping the crap out of their wife and then get in the pulpit and preach, or if they, whatever it is that they professing that they supposed to be, you gotta let God do that stuff. You gotta let God do that stuff. You don't have to go behind nobody's back and talk about them, or you don't have to gossip about nobody. You don't have to do that. If it's for it to be made known, to come to the forefront, God gonna let the light shine on it. God he's gonna allow the light to shine on it. Now that's just where I'm different at. I'll tell it on myself. Especially it depends on what it is. I know how to go get it right with God. It depends on what it is. I know how to go get it right with God. I know how to pray. I know how to repent, and I know how to put whatever it is, my stuff, because it's kind of rough for me to say that, because I don't want it to come out the wrong way. It's certain things that you can pray and repent about and put it up under the blood, and then I say, God, somehow, some way, because I've done it, God will see the sincerity of your heart. You know what I mean? But we have to get into that point in place when we're actually able to do that, and self-sabotaging is a spirit. To kind of back up on what you said, self-sabotaging is a spirit. I'm not gonna call the young lady's name or anything like that. It's a young lady that I know. She's very, very, very anointed young lady. You talking about prayer warriors? She can pray. She can pray the house down. But the minute a guy comes along, he a nice looking guy. He all that stuff that women, they say they like. He's that and then some. Excuse me. But what she'll do is she'll get nervous, and she'll get nervous and start trying to start stuff with him. Because she'll feel like he gonna do something wrong. Not only is that self-sabotaging, that's abandonment as well. Because so many people have walked away from her, so many people have done her wrong. So she automatically think that's the nature of what people are supposed to do. And I say, and on the outside standing and looking in, no, that's not right. That's not right. But at the same time, you have to allow people to show you themselves, because everybody is not out to get you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody's not out to get you. And I'm gonna back off a little bit. And everybody don't have a spirit. Everybody don't have a spirit. Everybody don't. Now, some folks do, but everybody don't have a spirit on them, and that's why you got to, why you got to discern them all the time, and why you got to watch them all the time. That's not the case.
Yeah, that's micromanaging. Why are you micromanaging another individual?
Yeah, why you got to do that? That's not comfortable.
Yeah, no, it's
enjoy
not.
That. Yeah, you can't enjoy that. Yeah.
No, I like what you said, and want to piggyback. When you were talking, taking accountability and ownership.
Yes, right.
That's what we, I know I've done that. Where it may not feel good, And that's where you have the Holy Spirit. That's what the Holy Spirit, he'll bring things to remembrance. So there are times where I'll do something and then the Holy Spirit like, you shouldn't have done that, and then I have to repent. That's taking ownership. And then also to also piggyback what you said is, we are to judge people, but when it comes to certain things, because the truth be told, come on now, homosexuality, that's not the biggest sin. Sin is sin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sin. There's no greater sin.
What is it? The seventh abomination. Sowing discord is the sin that God hates. Sowing discord. So I just love how
liars.
I just love it. I just love it how when I see things, when people put stuff on Facebook or wherever social media, and they keep talking about this person and that person. How about you just pray for them? You don't. It's a process for some people. Some people, and I'm not even making excuses because they're dealing with homosexuality. It could be because they were molested when they were younger, and we don't know the conversations that they're having with God. And
you don't know exactly,
and we don't know, and it's a sticky thing when if they're ministering or in the body of Christ. I wouldn't turn them away. They're still a soul. You know what I'm saying?
Still a soul.
You can always sit down, because I don't know what it is. Usually the way I look at it is that when you're being exposed, God has already given you chances to get yourself together, and you just didn't get yourself together. And my opinion,
you just didn't get yourself together. You ignored it.
So now he's exposing you. But even with that, there has to be love. With love and kindness I drive. There has to be love behind it, not just don't do this, you going to hell, like fire and brimstone. It's a new day and age. Yes, it's the same God. Yes, we need deliverance. Yes, we need salvation. And I don't know, we're veering off a little bit, but that's okay, because God just wants us to talk about it.
The way God wants us to go.
To go. So we just have to do things in love. And just because you don't like somebody's sin doesn't mean that they're not trying to get it right. Or if you're in leadership, there's a way to do stuff. You don't put stuff on social media. How about you just bring the person and talk to them and say, hey, at this time, let's go on a sabbatical. I'm just saying.
It's just a way of doing everything.
Yeah, let's just pray and fast. Sitting people down and just telling me, I believe God is calling you in this ministry, but let's put that aside and let's deal with this. That's how you do stuff. Not just get on social media and just
blast somebody.
Just blast somebody.
You don't do that.
They're a soul. They are a soul.
Because at the end of the day, people know they jacked up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? People know they got mental issues. People know they homosexual. They know they're homosexual. People know they're a lesbian. People know that. If you don't, if they don't know, I'm like, why you don't know? But but at the same time, you can't beat and bash nobody because they are. Sorry about that phone ringing.
But I know that's what I was like. We got a call coming in.
No, I'm at Burgerlicious, y'all. I'm sitting in the office. So the phone might ring a little bit.
No, that's okay. You doing business. So no, we hear you. It's just that yes, we are to judge, but then also there's a time in the season, and I say for judgment, and then there's a time in the season for grace. Just like God has given you grace. And like I said, homosexuality, there's people that are backbiting. There's people that are fornication. And you just focusing on just one little area. Yeah. Being judgmental, gossiping, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many things. And we just have to be careful and tread lightly when it comes to people, especially in the body of Christ. Because the truth be told, we're all dealing with some type of struggle. Mine's definitely is not that. You know what I'm saying? But it could be something else. It can be a porn addiction. It can be, I'm being serious. I'm being gossiping. Anything. It could be causing division. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving you an example. So
it could be anything. And even the Bible tells us that we have to be able to preach with love and long suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be able to do that. You got to be able to rightly divide that word.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to rightly divide the word, preach with long suffering, love and long suffering. You have to be able to do that, because sometimes people, they come to church, they broken, They done seen it all, done did it all. They done experienced this and done experienced that. And that's the last thing they want to hear. You going to hell. I'm like, okay, well, show me how not to go to hell.
Yeah, they
Show
want
me.
to come to a safe place. The church
Show me how
should
not to
be
go to hell. Can you show me how not to want to screw around with women no more? Even though I'm a woman, can you
exactly
show me how to stop? Can you show me how to not want to screw around with
set up
men no more?
pointing the finger.
Show me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, show me how not to watch porn no more.
Mm-hmm.
Show me how not to want to cheat on my wife no more. Because I don't want to do it, but it's a spirit that's driving me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me how not to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me how to stop smoking marijuana before I come to church?
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me? Because right now I can't help myself.
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me? Because right now I want to stop, but you talking about me, that's not really helping me.
Yeah. And the church should be a safe place. It should be a place of healing, a place of deliverance, not somebody pointing the finger. And all I keep here is the fire and brimstone. Like, you doing this, you going to hell. You doing that, you going to hell. And it's like there's a period of grace where you have to pinpoint. You have to get to. I'm a person. I'm detailed. Let's get to the root of the problem.
Let's get to the root of the problem.
Everything isn't spiritual. There's a reason why you're that way. So let's just get to a root of it. Let's fast. Let's pray. So
that's right.
What is it? Self-sabotage is a spirit. I have on here, if you have wrong, distorted thinking about things and people, then the spirit of sabotage may be at work in your life. The spirit of sabotage aims to undermine, and I like this, the plans of God and cripple you, and it will make you live a frustrated, purposeless life. Dang. And waste all of your time on worthless things. And I really hate to put it out there like that, but oh well. It is dangerous and deceptive because it causes you to stand in your own way. Just like the female that she's standing in her own way. You know what I'm saying? God didn't send somebody, probably a future spouse to her. And she's standing in her own way simply because she's been hurt in the past instead of letting go and letting God deal with it, It is dangerous and deceptive because it causes you to stand in your own way. And if you are not careful, it will cause you to talk yourself out of God's blessing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of times, we do that. And we don't realize we're doing it because we move too fast.
Yes.
We try to move too fast and we try to get ahead of God. And we think we can outwork God. You can't. Let me help somebody. You cannot outwork God.
No, sir.
You can't. You're not faster than him. You're not. You're not faster than God. You got to let God be God. That's us. And that's one of my slogans that I actually took up on this year. Let God be God. It's sometimes I come up against stuff that I'm like, man, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. All right, well, I say to myself, man, let God be God. If you can't do it, you can't figure it out. Maybe it ain't for you to have that right now. Maybe it ain't for you to be doing that right now. You got to let God be God. If God holding it, if it ain't happened, chances are God holding it back for you. He's holding it back. And sometimes, God will hold people back from us because we're not ready for those type of friends. Sometimes he'll hold people back because we're not ready for those type of spouses. We're not ready for those type of relationships because we're still holding on to the last stuff that did us wrong. Because sometimes, and I've seen this, happen when people self-sabotage. What they'll do is, or let me see, how can I say it? They'll always try to remind the individual what the last individual did. I'm like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was them. I didn't have anything to do with that. And it's a lot of times, we miss God. We miss God because, we haven't fully gotten healed from a lot of things that, we thought we haven't, got rid of. And some stuff, you get yourself in a situation and you'll find out, oh, I'm not ready. I thought I was, but I'm not.
And you're being honest with yourself. At least be honest. I'm not ready.
Yeah. I'm not ready. I thought I was. I'm not, because I'm still dealing with this. And they did something and they triggered it. And they let me know you ain't ready.
Yep, and that's another part of taking ownership and accountability. So for
Yeah.
those that are in the comments, and those that are just tuning in, we are talking about why do we self sabotage, and this is part 2. And if you would like to call in, the phone number is 469-708-8609. If you'd like to call in, if you want to discuss it with us, if you want to say hi, how you doing, but just call in 469-708-8609. And I'm going to read this again. If you have wrong, distorted thinking about things and
That's right.
people, oh Lord,
That's right.
then the spirit of sabotage may be at work in your life. The spirit of sabotage aims to undermine the plans of God and cripple you, and it will make you live a frustrated, purposeless life and waste all your time on worthless things. It is
That's
dangerous
right.
and deceptive because it causes you to stand in your own way, and if you're not careful, it will also cause you to talk yourself out of God's blessing. That's real dangerous.
Yeah. Talk
Very, very
yourself right out
dangerous.
of it, and you don't even realize you don't talk yourself out of it. And like we said a few minutes ago before the show started, you don't talk yourself out of a blessing, and next thing you know, it's gone, and you can't get it back, and you can't get it back. And then some, I hear a lot of people saying this. The devil stole my stuff, and God gonna make them give it back. If God let them take it, I don't want it back. That's my opinion. If God let them steal it, if God let them take it, I don't want it back.
I don't want it. Yeah.
But it's a lot of times, people, they self sabotage, they shoot themselves in the foot, and I've seen this. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I've seen this when people will be in a relationship with somebody, and in so many words that person is telling them, you hovering over me too much. Give me some room.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some room. And all along, what the other person is doing, they just pushing them further and further away
Mm-hmm.
because they smothering them too much.
Sabotaging.
They smothering them too much. And it's a lot of times, I get it. One like more affection than the other one do. So one probably going quite naturally want to be all up under that person a little bit more. But at the same time, you got I said, but at the same time, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna stick a pin in it, I'm gonna say it. But at the same time, that right there is a red flag for somebody that's still dealing with some stuff in their heart from their last relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
Baggage.
because you showing me that you really not confident in yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
really not you really not that confident in me. You know what I'm saying? And if you got to be around me, up under me, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
just me. I don't know.
No, I need some space. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship, but
Yeah,
you also need your space. But then also,
yeah,
that's where you have to be accountable and take ownership. I just
yeah,
feel that if you are not ready and you know you got things to deal with, you have to heal. You should not be in a relationship, or at least if you are dating. I don't like the word dating.
yeah,
I like courting better.
yeah,
But if you are dating, let the person know, hey, this is where I'm at.
yeah,
Either you can roll with
yeah,
me, like for real, or not.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
and that's being honest. But I'd be like, no, no, sir, no, sir,
No, I can't do that.
no, sir,
No, I
can't
can't.
do
I
that.
can't do that with you.
I'd rather wait
Especially,
on God. I'm waiting on God.
especially when you're dealing with somebody that's narcissistic. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Because it's half the stuff that you've been on did something wrong, or either it wasn't that much, but they'll still turn it somehow, some way, they'll turn around and flip it and blame it all on you. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And it's just a lot to unpack to deal with somebody that's have that spirit of self sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to unpack, and it's a lot of times they'll make stuff up in their mind that's not even true.
Mm.
That's not even
That is
true.
correct.
That's not even true. That's not even going on. And next thing you know, they done sabotage the whole relationship. They done sabotage the whole friendship. You know, they done sabotage the whole door, whether it be for business or ministry
Mm.
that you was trying to help them walk through. But all along, that self sabotage won't let them experience some of the great things that God has.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
And what I have here next is, what is self-sabotage a symptom of? What is self-sabotage a symptom of? And you can chime in. Self-sabotage is often a symptom of low self-esteem.
Yeah.
It may also be a symptom of traumatic experiences,
Yep.
anxiety disorders, or perhaps another condition. People who
Yep.
self-sabotage may also have poor or undeveloped coping, and that's a good one, coping
Yeah.
skills. Okay?
Yeah.
Um
Exactly.
so let me see. I want to get into what are the root causes of self-sabotage, and I think we've kind of touched on some of them, and I'm just going to list them, and then we're going to go into them one by one individually. So I have, what are the root causes of self-sabotage? Obsessing over the negative. Okay.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear. Underestimating your own worth.
Yep.
Constant comparisons. Pushing people away.
Yeah.
And I like this
Yeah.
one, lacking purpose.
Man, listen, you that's before I got into the place where I'm at right now, my spiritual walk.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be the one that was self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my self-sabotage, and we still talking about what you said. My self-sabotage came through a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Because no woman in their right mind, or nobody, a friend, so to speak, in their right mind that's got good sense, ain't finna put up with nobody that has a bad attitude that can't control it.
Mm.
Because here's the thing: if my attitude is bad, my flesh is out of control. If my flesh is out of control, chances are my mouth is out of control. All right. If my mouth is out of control, I'm loose in every member of my body. All right. That might be deep for somebody.
Mm.
But all those things, you have to be able to take that in accountability to be able to fix all of that before you try to unpack all that on somebody else that may not be strong enough to handle that. All right.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Go ahead.
One of the things, and I'm just gonna be transparent, and I think I shared this the last time, is the constant, because I was looking at myself and mostly all of these, but the constant comparisons where I would, God. One thing I like about God is if you pray and you ask Him, He'll show you. If you have certain goals, God always deals with me in visions, and God will show me doing something, and this is before I actually wrote the book. God had shown me a book. This is when I was in my 20s. I'm in my 50s, and then someone came right behind me, and they prophesied to me and said, "I see you writing a book." And because I didn't think, number one, my low self-esteem, I didn't think I was worthy. I don't know what I was thinking of. I wasn't even worthy. Like, who, me? Don't nobody want to hear from me.
Just ready to sabotage.
I'm sabotaging right there. Number one, it took me, 30 years to do the book. And then me comparing myself, like, who am I? I see other writers, but then God was like, but I created you. I created you unique. Everybody is different, and then there was fear. I was like, okay, if I do this book, and I'm just using that as an example, that means that I'm going to have to really go out in faith and believe and trust. And that's a hard thing for people to really trust. People have trust issues.
For real.
How are you going to trust in God if you don't trust people? So I know with me, it was fear. And then trusting. So it's like, okay, if I step out on faith, that means that I'm gonna have to be transparent, and I don't want nobody knowing about this, and what are they gonna say, and then 30 years for me to do the book. And I believe in that area that I did sabotage it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I did.
Yeah.
So, but the constant comparisons, where I come to realize I love me, Me, myself, and I. There can only be one me.
That's
I
right.
am
That's
unique.
right.
I am in the class by myself, and that's
That's
how I
right.
have to, and but back in the day, I would always compare myself to other people. But then, oh,
Mm-hmm.
they have this. That's why they're there. And God, it would
Yeah.
if I got this done, maybe out. And then God was like, stop it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, so the first one I went over was obsessing over the negative. It is important to have a realistic picture of the world and your place in it. However, this means balancing the good and the bad. If you find that you always look for a reason to view things as boring, dangerous,
Man,
unachievable,
man, man.
or
Yeah.
negative in any other way, then this is a serious warning sign that you need to work on overcoming self sabotage. Go right
That's
ahead.
right. That's right. I mean, it's that's a lot to do. We might have to wind up doing part three on this one.
I know.
This is it's getting pretty good, and which is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to deal with when you're trying to deal with somebody that self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
They're quickly to blame, think less of themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and won't allow themselves to experience, and I keep saying it, to experience the best that God would have for them,
Yes.
not for everybody else, for them, because they don't think that they're not good enough to achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just like you said, you didn't think you was good enough to write this book, but now you did it,
Mm-hmm.
and you working on another one.
And working on another right now. So
You
second
see what
book.
I'm saying? So you did it,
Yeah.
but I said, I mean, yeah. Now you're like, oh, I can do it now, but I said, but now it's time to take more steps.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, a lot of times, people think they're too old to do
Mm-hmm.
certain things. And I'll use myself for an example, because I struggle with adult illiteracy. I years ago I used to let that stop me,
Mm.
but now you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Now I get these businesses going. I'll stand up and preach in front of thousands, and I read the Bible. But years ago, I used to let that stop me because I didn't think that I was good enough, because I couldn't read that good. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't spell that good. I used to let that sabotage me. And it was every time I would get that feeling, I wouldn't go forward. I'm like, no, okay, okay. The devil would be like, no, see, I told you, look at you. You ain't
Mm-hmm.
good enough. You ain't good enough. You ain't this, you ain't that. And next thing you know, I didn't do it. The
Mm-hmm.
mission didn't get completed. I didn't accomplish anything. I didn't make it to my destiny. I didn't get around the right people that I was supposed to be around to help me to get where I needed to be. And
Mm-hmm.
all along, it was self sabotage.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
self sabotage all along.
And I like what you said. When you focus exclusively on the negative, you attract more negativity in your
Yeah,
life, and you restrict. And I like these key words.
yeah,
Restrict, cripple your own opportunities by finding excuses not to do things. Plus, if you're an extremely negative person, you reduce, and you said it, the number of people who want to be around you, effectively self-sabotaging relationships. I got that
that's
in
right.
there. Um, so I'm gonna go into fear. If you notice that most things fill you with dread and terror, you might have hit upon what causes self-sabotaging behavior in your life. You might just feel fear in specific areas. For example, romantic, just friendships, or it may be universal. Either way, fear keeps you trapped. Another key word, and
Yeah,
prevents you from fulfilling your full potential. While this is a
yeah.
sign of self sabotage, it is also important to note that you might need additional help for an underlying like behavior, like traumatic anxiety disorder.
So so
Um,
Don so Don is in she's in the chat. She said we can be our own destiny destroyers. That's
I like
right.
that one.
We can mess our
Yes.
own self up. So it's a lot of times we can become our own enemies.
Mm-hmm.
We can fight ourselves. We can mess ourselves up. We can mess ourselves up. We can destroy our own self. You don't nobody have to do it. We can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And I say, and it'd be a lot of times it'd be a lot of times the cousin to it is fear.
Mm-hmm.
The cousin to it, and the brother and the sister, and the cousin, the sister, the brother and sister, ain't it be fear?
Yeah.
It be fear.
Yeah.
It be fear. Well, that fear is a bad mama jamma.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And because at the end of the day, who wants to be embarrassed? Who
Exactly.
wants to be made to look like a fool? You know what I mean? Who wants to be made to look like you don't know what you're doing? You know what I mean? So it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And you know, all of these that we're talking about, the end result is it prevents you from fulfilling your full potential. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So the next one I have is underestimating your own worth. If you tend to have low self-esteem, you likely have a particular loud, it's our inner critic, inner voice, whose voice tells you that you cannot do certain things. And this goes to what you were saying. It might tell you that you're not attractive enough to date, or not smart enough to apply for a job. No matter what, if you tend to view yourself in an especially negative light, this is a clue that you may have self-sabotaging patterns. And I like that. Patterns.
A pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Traits.
Mm-hmm.
You red flagging yourself. You red flagging yourself.
Exactly.
Listen, let me tell you something. Everybody in the chat, listen, let me tell y'all something.
Oh, walking red flag.
Even a producer. It's nothing wrong with you standing in the mirror and telling yourself, man, you the best thing since sliced bread. Mm-hmm. It ain't nothing wrong with you telling yourself that. It ain't nothing wrong with you being sweet on yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you know, certain things
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Certain things you can fix. 50. What 50? I'll be 57 this year. I just got braces. I had a thing about my teeth, and I was like, people were like, you too old. I'm like, man, 100 is old. What you talking about? So
man,
I'm like, hello. So and I had so many people say that, you know, and I'm like, really? Yeah. So, you know, certain things you can do yourself. I mean, because my tooth was crooked. My teeth are just as straight as you can be. So certain things that you can cosmetically, I know, and that's just an example. I at one point, even with my crooked tooth, I was like, no, I'm all that in a bag of chips and then some. You know, I don't want to go overboard, but certain things that you can straighten out, you know, but I like that.
That's right.
And you don't want to be a walking red flag either.
You don't. Because, I mean, you know, the right people will come along that's got real discernment or that can see prophetically. Just the people that have a sense of knowing certain things, they'll know, they got a bag of problems. That's okay. They got a bag of issues. That's okay.
And I like that.
I don't want to fool with nobody like that.
Yeah, that discernment, and that's why I thank God. You know, you have to, especially if you're a believer, or just in general, you need to just be mindful and just being discerning, because certain things you can kind of sense.
Especially if you're gonna try to go out on a date with somebody.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
Like, okay, this gonna be the last one.
Yeah,
okay. This the last one.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll pay for my own dinner and I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone, and that's it. You won't hear from me no more. But you know, it's a lot to deal with, and it's a lot to unpack when you're dealing with somebody that deal with self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to intake. And if you're not strong enough, man, you'll mess yourself up, and they definitely gonna mess themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Yep. I have on here constant comparisons. We went over that. Another common indication of self-sabotage is a compulsion to compare yourself to others. And actually, there are times when we wish we all had a quality or ability belonging to another person. However, if you're doing this with increasing frequency, if you keep doing it, you're using it as an excuse not to emerge from the comfort zone. You're engaging in self-destructive behavior. Right. And you'll be surprised. And I always tell people, if you look at a lot of these celebrities, they're getting all this work done, they're getting the BBLs, or they're getting stuff done, and all the stuff done, and they're depressed.
Yeah.
You know, they are depressed, and we're on the outside looking in, wishing that we can have what they have and comparing it, and we don't know what they're going going through behind closed doors. Abuse,
That's true.
you know. The
That's
next one I
true.
have on here is pushing people away. And you said that also self-destructive attitudes to relationships don't appear in your life. If you tend to push people away in general, you're likely self-sabotaging. There are many different ways of pushing people away, ranging from being evasive in conversation to refusing to meet up or being outright rude or dismissive. Like the bad attitude.
Man, you don't have to be rude with nobody. You
Yeah.
don't want them around you. Just start being busy.
You like being busy. Yes.
Just get busy. You don't have to be rude with nobody. Anything like that. You don't have to be rude with nobody. Because I mean, truth be told, there's a lot of genuine people that's in this world. There's a lot of good, genuine people. I'm talking about this that have that only have the right that let me see how can I say it that only have the right and that want to do good by you.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, but because sometimes we're too focused on. I saw your sister. She said something in the chat. The blame game.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
with the blame game. We want to try to move too fast and try to hop in a relationship or try to hop in a marriage that we not really fully ready for.
Yeah.
You know, you're not really ready for that. I mean, it's a lot to deal with. That's a lot to deal with, and sometimes you shouldn't be trying to deal with nobody. You need to deal with yourself.
Yeah. I believe that some people deal with the flesh and they think that one way of dealing with it is getting married, and it's like, no, you needed to get to the root
No,
cause of why you can't contain your flesh, or why, why so
yeah,
are you so hard pressed and obsessed on getting married.
yeah,
And there's a time in the season where God will call you to singleness, you know.
yeah,
He will
yeah. I
isolate
used to,
you
yeah,
so you can get yourself together. And during that isolation, and I don't know why I'm saying this, and it's probably because someone is listening. You need to hear this. God, why me? Why not you?
why not you? Why not you?
God is
You
trying
know,
to tell you something. Maybe he wants you to pray. He wants you to fast. He wants you to get that
yeah,
bad attitude. He wants you to get rid of that bad attitude. He wants you to
yeah,
get rid of being dismissive and rude and complaining and stuff like that, or just heal you of some
yeah,
traumas that So why
yeah,
not?
yeah. I
Would I
used to.
like to
I'm
get
serious.
married again? I would like to get married again, but I'm at a place where
Hmm.
I am happy, and I'm not obsessed with getting married. I just be looking at married people and I just be praying for y'all. I
She
be
said, "I ain't
praying
in
for
a hurry." She said, "I
y'all,
want to." She
producer.
said, "But I ain't in a
Yeah.
hurry."
I be praying for y'all. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
wonderful thing, but it has to be God's timing and it has to be
yeah,
God's way this time. I know for me, it has to be God's way. Because my last one, it was my way and it didn't work out well. So I'm not in a hurry, in a rush, and I'm literally waiting on God. Um, but we're gonna
I
talk
tell you,
about. Go ahead.
and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
no, go ahead.
I tell you something
Ooh.
that Vernetta told me when I first met her because that's when my attitude used to be really bad.
Oh.
My mouth was slick. I would say things because I don't got no filter. I can say what I want to say. I'm the man. Da 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 da. Da.
Uh
You
oh.
know what she told me? She said, okay, you keep it up. You keep it up. Unless you gonna call me one day and your number gonna be blocked. You keep it up. She said, I'm gonna show you what you. I said, what's gonna happen if you don't get it together? Again, self-sabotage.
And
Because
you
I
know
thought
what?
that I thought that I can handle people any kind of way I wanted to, and I thought that I can be straightforward and just say things how I felt it. No, you got to get your words together first.
And you
Get your
know what?
words together first, and stop saying stuff to people that I said that's not that's you just can't handle people like that.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. But what I did was not only that with her, but I learned how to do it all the way across the board. I learned how to do it all the way across the board, and God started showing me myself.
Mm-hmm.
He started showing me some stuff that was in me that he wasn't pleased with, and he started showing stuff in me that just wasn't right. I'm like, man, I thought this was okay. And all along, again, self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing people away from you.
And
You know, I said, where you people don't want to be around you. You know, because your mouth too slick. You know, you got a smart mouth. Don't nobody want to be around nobody got a smart mouth. You
Mm-mm.
know.
And Dawn put it
Yep.
in here. You just said it. Self-examination is key. And I like what Vernetta did because this goes into the next one. How do you stop someone from self or sabotaging you? How do you stop someone from sabotaging you? And one thing I like what she did was she set boundaries with
That's
you.
right. She told me.
When you were doing that, she set boundaries and she held
That's
on
right.
to her boundaries. So,
That's right.
and this right here goes into how do you stop someone from sabotaging you? Pray about the situation and the person that is the sabotager.
That's right.
Ask God, I'm sorry, the sabotager. Ask God how to communicate your
Yeah.
concerns because we definitely want to stoop to their level,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So, we're going to discuss how do you stop someone from sabotaging you. So, identify the sabotager.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's a way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to be rude. You don't have to be rude. Sometimes when I know that somebody is a self-sabotager, I'll sit there and I'll listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit there and I'll listen to them, and you know, once they get finished, then I'll politely, nicely say what needs to be said,
Mm-hmm.
but in a nice way, and I will let them know, hey, listen, you know, XYZ, you know, I think we should do it like this. I think we should do it like that. You know, with times in the past, I'm finna come at you with Rambo, you know,
Yeah.
with nunchucks. I'm finna chop you up. And you know, I didn't have no compassion for nobody. But now, God, I said, God done dealt with me and done made me slow down on a lot of stuff, you know, and a lot of things. And now, you know, I'm to a point in place where if I can't say nothing nice, I don't say nothing at all. You know.
Amen. And you just went right into the next one, communicate your concerns. But
Yeah.
identify the sabotager. I have on here, for example, you might notice, and we all know people like this. Well, you might notice a friend or family member who consistently downplays your efforts or discourages you from pursuing your goals.
Man.
They might make snide remarks about your abilities or constantly
Yeah.
highlight potential failures rather than supporting your aspirations. And I
Yeah.
like how you said listening, and then just listen. And then
Yeah.
you communicate your concerns. Communicating your concerns is essential to deal with sabotage. It's important to communicate in a and I like how you said it, confrontational manner, and
Yeah.
listen
Of course.
everything
Yeah.
you said to the other person's point of view. Effective communication can prevent sabotage from happening in the future. This kind of communication addresses the behavior without placing blame, inviting
Yeah.
the other person to share their perspective, and fostering an open dialogue. So basically, what you say.
Because I mean, especially if you know somebody deal with something,
Yeah.
that's the last thing. That's the last thing you want to do is trigger something, and it'll bring them back to what they used to deal with, or
Mm-hmm.
how somebody did them, or oh my God, this battery's trying to go dead on this laptop. And it'll make them feel like, you know, that somebody did something wrong, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the last thing you want to do is make somebody feel like that you don't care nothing about what they got to say.
Mm-hmm. We got like 4 minutes. The next one is we hit on it. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries is crucial in dealing with sabotage. It's important to determine what behaviors are acceptable and what is not. Setting
That's right.
boundaries involve being assertive. And Vernetta, she was like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
assertive.
No. Hold on. No, we don't do that.
We ain't doing that. About what you need for your well-being, without
That's right.
placing blame or attacking the other person, and maintaining respect and openness
Yeah.
in the relationship. or friendship. However, it is essential to prioritize your mental health. And I'm going to say that again, and set boundaries that work for you.
I'm trying to tell you.
You can't be timid.
Yes. Yeah, buddy. You're right. Yeah, you have to do whatever it is and do whatever it takes to support your mental health. You have to do that because at the end of the day, peace is like gold.
Yes.
Peace is almost like $1 million. I don't know no person that don't like to have a peace of mind. I do. I love having a peace of mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I don't have a peace of mind, the people that's around me that's really and truly connected to me, they can basically look at me and tell he not at peace.
Yeah.
Gerald's not at peace. Gerald's not comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, something going on. He'll tell me in a minute or whatever it is. But yeah. So I mean, but you have to when you identify something, you have to identify it correctly. You have to identify it correctly. You just can't just be jumping all over people and you know and don't expect to get nothing back in return. Because if you say this to them, if you say it depends on how you say it and the voice and the tone of the way you say it, chances are they probably gonna give you the same thing.
Yeah, the tone. Your tone means everything.
Especially the tone.
Yeah.
You gotta learn. I had to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to watch my tone when I address certain things.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So and I see it says Auntie 5, you must hold to your boundaries and don't bend. She put that in the comments. So thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate everyone.
You're who?
That's
my oldest sister. My oldest sister.
Hi, oldest sister. No, we appreciate everyone in their comments. Even the comments are really good. Thank you so much. And we are going to have a part 3. What we're going to do is there's more here, and we're going to stop right here. This was really good. Yeah. I think we're going to have a part 3, and we're going to have some people.
Yeah, without a doubt. We definitely going to have to do a part 3.
With some people.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So I think we're going to end it right there. And Gerald, I wanted to end with you. Any last words?
So last words. What I would tell somebody that's struggling with their finances, what I would tell somebody that's struggling with them not feeling like they're good enough. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am good enough.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, again, like I said a few minutes ago, I am the best thing since sliced bread. All right. And also, lastly, what I want to leave you with, when it's too much for you, it's just right for God.
Yes.
Don't never ever get your chance. Don't never ever get yourself in a place to where you don't feel like you're not good enough. You know, don't ever feel like God ain't listening to you, or he don't care about what you got going on, or he's not concerned. I promise you, he's very concerned. He's very concerned. If it concerns you, it concerns God.
Yes.
All right.
All
I
righty.
believe that's it. That's all I got.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gerald.
No problem at all. I'm still busy and, you know, moving around, doing a lot of stuff. A lot of moving parts were going on in my life right now, but you know, I feel like I could come on, you know, this Zoom call and do this, and and move forward like that.
Well, we really appreciate you, the businessman, and more businesses. You already know. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. More businesses, more help, more businesses, more help.
I accept.
More businesses. So thank you so much, and we are done.
We done with it. All righty.
Wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. This child away.